I'm Chelsea Bacaitis, and this is my mother, Megan Bacaitis, and I will be interviewing her today for this collection of oral histories.
I guess moving off of campus, living in an apartment, but even then, I'm living with a bunch of women. And then I got married. Of course, I felt like an adult once I was a mother. So it's not like one day I woke up and said, "Here, I'm an adult." It was more like, well, it's time to move on to the next part of my life. So it's time to, I guess. So when I went to college, then I was a young adult. I'm like, well, it's time to get married. Let's move on to that. And I get married. Well, it's time to have a child. Let's keep progressing. Let's keep moving on and
doing that. Yeah.
Doing that.
Tell your Nanda pasta story.
Oh, and the guy hit on me.
Yeah.
Yeah, the CEO of the corporation of Nanda Pasta, and he had a koala bear picture. And yeah, I sat next to him and his lawyer on an airplane, and he was a little bit drunk, but he was asking, "Oh, you're going back to BYU?" And then he says, "Well, how would you like to just travel the world with me instead of going back to college? Just come with me to, I'll pay your ticket. Just come with me to New York and just travel with me for a while." And I was like this young college student here, this older guy that was supposedly a CEO of a corporation in Australia. I don't know if Nanda Pasta is still in business, but I don't think it is. Anyway, he gave me all the literature on the company, and so he'd give me like a brochure, and he'd go, "And that's our koala." And then he'd give me another thing. He'd go, "That's our koala, by the way." It was just a picture of a koala with kind of crazy hair coming out of the ears. But yeah, he wanted me to leave, and so I guess that was kind of an adult moment where adults are asking you to do adult things.
Yeah, you could have left.
Yeah. I had a job when I came home for the summer. I had a job working at a swimming pool company. They chlorinated swimming pools, and we had one service guy that was really bad, and so a whole bunch of people's pools were turning green, and I kept getting phone calls about my pool's green, and I would just take the phone calls and I'd go, "Oh, I'm so sorry, your pool's green. What's wrong?" And I just take the information. And my boss walked in one time, and she said, "We've been listening to you on the phone, and we said we're so impressed with the way that you're talking to our customers. You're so patient and understanding, and solution oriented with them, and so we're going to give you a $2 raise per hour."
Oh, wow.
No kidding. So I went from $8 an hour to $10 an hour, which, like, even now $10 is good for BYU students.
Yeah.
But back then, I was like, "Oh, $10 an hour," But it's, I guess I guess I realized being on the phone with these people, I was like talking like an adult. I wasn't like some kid on the phone. I was an adult talking to other adults about their problem and trying to be more business oriented and getting it solved. I wasn't a whiny teenager on the phone with him, even though I was 18.
Yeah.
No,
I see what you're saying.
So and here I got monetarily rewarded for adult behavior. So my young adulthood, I got married when I was 20 years old. So I always think of when I think young adult, I think young single adult. But really, I was 17 when I went to school, and then I turned 18 that November after I started. I lived in the dorms the first year, which was fairly protected, and then I lived in an apartment for 2 years at BYU, and then I got married. Finished up my degree in Michigan, so I did get my bachelor's degree after I'd had my first child. So my young adulthood, and I didn't do a lot of dating, but my young adulthood was mostly all, I think of, I guess 26 or something. Most of that time was wrapped up in motherhood. By the time I was 26, I had 2 children. I guess just being a mother, it's being pregnant, and I was 21 years old, and so I was your age. Wow. But being pregnant, it's I don't know, one of the most beautiful experiences of your life to become a mother. I really do think so, and I think it's the best thing. But certainly, I at some point felt ready to become a mother before I did.